Hi, Shifties. We've got a quick update for you. The Shift podcast is taking a little break for the summer, but don't worry. We'll be back in the fall with all new episodes. In the meantime, we won't leave you hanging. What we'll do is be replaying some of our most popular episodes so you can catch the ones you missed or revisit your favorites. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you in the fall. The Shift is brought to you by Joy Metrics. Welcome to The Shift. I'm Dr. Andrea Coyle. Welcome back, Shifties, to the next episode of the Shift podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Andrea Coyle, the Chief Clinical and Innovation Officer at SE Healthcare. And as you know, we host influential nurses and friends of nurses with the intention to inspire people to get into the nursing profession. And the Shift also is a way to change the narrative, to shine the light on all the right in nursing. And I am thrilled today to bring on a great guest, Ashley Summers, also known as Ashley Ann RN. We're going to talk about her book and dig really deep into some of the shifts that Ashley Ann RN went through as she wrote this book that I highly recommend. First, Ashley Summers, do a little introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to go over this great book.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, Andrea. Hi, everybody. So honored to be here today on the podcast. My name's Ashley. Ashley Ann RN is my author name, as Andrea was saying. I'm a nurse from just north of Boston. Grew up here in a small town. Been a nurse for about 8 years. Have had the blessing to work both in Massachusetts and as a nurse in Nashville, Tennessee. Moved home, bought our first house here just around the time of the pandemic. And so with all the stress and turmoil, kind of had this moment of going from an ICU nurse to a first-time published author. Had the blessing to connect with Andrea here, and we've been having awesome conversations about both nursing and writing.
I love it. And it's so true. And I have to tell you, just as a reminder, when we think about the shift or a shift, first of all, in nursing, we all at some point in our careers have worked a night shift, a day shift, a weekend shift. So that's part of where the shift came from. In addition to a shift is a change in position, tendency, frequency. It can be a change in location, mindset, spirituality, intellectuality. I think I may have just made that word up. You get the gist. So that's why we talk about the shift. And I'm curious, Ashley Ann Summer, your author name, what shifted you to start to write All We Had?
Sure. So I never really imagined that I would become a writer. I've always loved to read. It's something that I think is amazing in the summer by the water, in the winter, cozy by the fire. And I always loved to kind of write in school growing up and even in undergrad, but never really saw it as something that I would do, especially being an ICU nurse. It's so far, it's different from our day-to-day life. And so as I started working the pandemic, facing these new challenges, these stressful unknowns, every single day looking different, walking into work, not really knowing what we were going to see or find, I found myself under a lot of stress and felt like I needed to start keeping a journal to deal with these new feelings and thoughts. And also such a unique thing that we were all going through as healthcare workers, something none of us imagined we would go through when we signed up for the career. So I got a journal and just started kind of keeping entries, and whether it was a one line of today we started wearing masks or a big entry about a really tough day that I had, I just started to keep a personal journal to kind of, again, unwrap all these new stressors. Also thought, wow, this would be something kind of cool to look back on and years to come, have my kids see, my grandkids see someday, just to share with people. And then I was actually at home quarantining with COVID with my husband in January. Excuse my dog, my mini golden doodle in the background. Um, was at home quarantining with my husband, first time we got COVID. And I thought, I kind of have this story in my head that is just there and evolving, and maybe I'll start writing. So I said to him, I might write a book. And he was like, why not? And I thought, okay, let me start writing. Who knows where this will lead? I may even just write it kind of for my own personal expression. And next thing you know, I had this shift where I went from being an ICU nurse and took all of that experience physically, emotionally, and transpired it into my first book.
I love the book. And first of all, it was so brilliant for you to sit down and start to journal. In hindsight, I think, I wish I would have journaled during the pandemic, because I think mostly all of us, especially people in the front lines, have such a story to tell, and how it really shifted. It shifted everything, truly. One thing I like about the book is Sophia and Amelia remind me of my friend Phoebe LaJudas DeLuca, who we're still friends. We were both young nurses in Cleveland, Ohio. We were roommates. We kind of went through everything together. So I kind of put myself in,
In
oh my
their shoes.
gosh, this is Andrea and Phoebe. And so it reminded me of that. And then it reminded me of what I experienced during the pandemic. And I think what I remember most about the pandemic is I was furloughed from my job. So I'd never not had a job in my life. But within 3 days, I had this opportunity to be a travel assistant director in a large behavioral health hospital outside of New York City. It was a New York City suburb. And I went there for 6 weeks on this 6-week contract, but it's when COVID was uncertain, and that 6 weeks turned into 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
and we were in a New York City suburb during the wave of the pandemic, and I went to the clap outs in New York City, and it's still like it's so emotional.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, as the assistant director, we responded to all of the codes and all of the rapid responses. And I remember April, May, and June, because it would go off in the whole hospital. It was literally going off every 15, 20 minutes. And I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a shift, and it was at the end of June. And all of a sudden, we had gone like 3 hours. And I looked over at one of my peers and said, did you just notice that we went 3 hours without any rapid responses or codes? And I
Wow.
think that was the shift of when things started to change. But we went through the rationing of the masks, the uncertainty of what was going to be next. It was a very crazy time. And I think you capture it so well in this book. I have to tell you, Ashley Ann RN, I started reading this book Friday evening and finished it Sunday morning. It is compelling. It is compelling. It is heartwarming. It's sad. It's real life. That's why when you said, excuse me, my dog's barking, I'm like, we're nurses. This is real life. Like, we got it. It's okay. If I could just tell all the shifties out there to go read this book, you will not be disappointed. It's that good.
Thank you so much.
Where did Amelia and Sophia come from? How'd you come up with these two folks? These two
Similar. Yeah, similar to as you talk about you and a friend, we all have those close friends or coworkers that you just trauma bond together. The things we see and go through together, it creates this camaraderie that is so unlike probably any other profession. And so I basically found them pieces of me, pieces of people that I know, and created their characters just to represent all of us in the field. Like, we all need people to rely on. And that's the amazing thing about healthcare, is that we are in it together. And so they have each other's back throughout the entire story. And I wanted one of the main themes throughout the whole book to be teamwork, and how no matter what you're going through, pandemic or not, a challenging time, is that you have somebody to lean on. And it's amazing to see where you can get by having people in your corner, and they somehow make it through together, as we somehow did, even if we at times didn't think we would. We made it here, and it's cool to kind of like reflect back on the experience through these characters.
I think it's so smart. And I like what you said, even if we're not going through the pandemic, we're going through a actual weekend shift, day shift, night shift. It's really important as nurses to have people on your team, people in that care delivery team that has your back. I know I was an ICU nurse. I mentioned that. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes even predating the pandemic, we would have two patients code in one day on a 15-bed ICU.
Mm,
And nursing, I think that's what we do with our team. We bond with each other in a way that we're going to support each other and ultimately ensure that that patient has the best outcome that they deserve and the
yeah.
best we can do. I love it. The Shift is brought to you by SE Healthcare. Do you know your current burnout level? Almost 70% of hospitals and healthcare systems can't answer this question. What we do know are the devastating results of burnout: increase in turnover, increase in medication errors and missed care, a decrease in the patient experience, and a decrease in quality outcomes. SE Healthcare can help with our evidence-based approach. Leaders can enhance nurse satisfaction and nurse engagement, improve quality care outcomes, and reduce burnout by 52%. Are you ready to uncover burnout's impact on your team? Visit us at sehealthcaresolutions.com/talk. Tell me more about what are you doing now? Are you going to write another book? Are you still in the same ICU?
Yeah,
What are you
that
doing?
is one of the most common questions that I get is when's the next book coming out? So I would love to write again someday. I haven't had any inspiration quite yet. I feel as though this pandemic, in a way, happened to me in my life so that I could tell this story. As corny as that sounds, this is something that just came into my head one day when I woke up. So I'm kind of waiting for probably that next inspiration. But if I did write another story, I love the idea of having the main character be a nurse in some way, and have it connect to the storyline. But no, just kind of working on getting word out about the book overall. I'm still working in the same ICU. I've been there for just shy of 5 years now. And we have such an incredible team there. I think that's half the reason why I stay, is that even though we all kind of, in our own way, maybe felt some burnout after the pandemic, those people that I work with have definitely kept me there. We have extremely supportive management on my unit, from the managers and educators, always checking in on us, and then just my coworkers in general. It's definitely kept me there. So even though we've kind of still retreated to the day-to-day trauma, such as COVID, like the ICU is still a place of high stress, day in and day out. And just kind of working with those people, it's definitely the reason that I'm still there.
I love it. I have a question. So I keep hearing you mention you have a great team. Do you guys
Mhm.
have the Daisy Award at your hospital? Are you a Daisy hospital?
We do, yep. Mhm. Yeah,
So I'm
one of my
wondering,
coworkers
do you,
actually used to be on the panel that was running that there.
oh, you were?
One of my coworkers.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
my question is, and I don't know if you know this or not, does your hospital have the Team Daisy Award?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know I've seen individuals get nominated and then get chosen, but I'm not sure if I've seen it from a team standpoint.
If not, I would highly recommend that if you do recognize the Team Daisy Award at your hospital, to
Mhm.
nominate your unit, because it sounds like you have a Daisy unit in the works right there.
Sure. Yeah, I feel very blessed. It's funny when you apply to a new hospital, you never really know what the culture of the unit is truly going to be like until you work on it. And so I just feel so blessed that I chose to apply to my specific unit, because really it's the people that really keep you there. And of course, you get patients and families that are wonderful that remind you why you're in the career. But it's your coworkers day to day that help support you through.
That's amazing. So I have a question. How can we, Ashley and RN, how can we get the people listening to this podcast, our shifties, to buy this book? What's the easiest way to buy the book?
So I have a website, ashleyannrnauthor.com, that will bring you to my author website page with all the links to purchase. But I'm also just on Amazon right now, working to get in some more local bookstores, and I'm in one public library so far, but most likely Amazon will be the best avenue. I have paperback and an ebook right now. Mhm.
Wonderful. And if there's anything, if any of the shifties want to reach out to me, I'm ANC@SEHQC.com. If you have any questions on how you can buy the book, you can reach out to me, and I can also get with Ashley Ann RN. But I really want to promote this book, Ashley. It's so good. It's so good. And
Thank you.
I'm so honored to sit with a great author, and I'm positive that our shifties are gonna go buy this book. So
Oh,
with that, I'm going to ask you, Ashley, at some point, we'd love to invite you back. We'll do another interview. Not sure what we'll talk about. Maybe it'll be another book.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we can give an update on how many books you've sold, but I'd love to have you come back. Does that sound like a good
That
idea?
sounds like a fabulous plan, Andrea.
Wonderful. And remember, shifties, this is what I say at the end of every single episode, every single podcast. Your shift makes the difference. Enjoying the shift? Help us reach more nurse leaders by rating and reviewing us on your podcast app. It takes just a minute, but makes a big impact. Search for The Shift, tap those stars, and share what you love. Your feedback shapes our future episodes and helps others discover us. Remember, rate, review, and amplify The Shift today.